Hello, people. Welcome to Bodhi Prep. My name is Brajesh, and here we have a question on fill in the missing sentence. Some people might also use the word paragraph completion. So I will use a little narrower this. Okay. So many people they use the term paragraph completion, or they might also use the word fill in the blank. So you can use whatever you want: paragraph completion, fill in the blank, or fill in the missing sentence. All of these mean the same thing, that a sentence is given to you. This is the sentence that is given to you, and this sentence has been removed from this paragraph. So there is a paragraph given to you, and there is a sentence, and you have to fit this sentence in one of these four blanks. There is blank 1, there is blank 2, there is blank 3, and there is blank 4. So in one of these blanks we have to fit this sentence, and if we get it right, that is +3. If you don't get it right, that is -1. So let's read the sentence. The sentence says, this philosophical cut at one's core belief, values, and way of life is difficult enough. So the sentence says this philosophical cut. That means in the earlier sentence, we have some sort of philosophical cut, right? And that is the reason why the author says this philosophical cut at one's core belief. So the sentence that comes before this sentence must have some sort of philosophical cut. And the author says that this philosophical cut at one's core belief, values, and way of life is difficult enough, right? So let's read the paragraph. The paragraph says the experience of reading philosophy is often disquieting. Disquieting means discomforting. When reading philosophy, the values around which one has heretofore organized one's belief may come to look provincial, flatly wrong, or even evil. So the author says that the experience of reading philosophy is disquieting. When reading philosophy, the values around which one has heretofore organized one's life may come to look provincial, flatly wrong, or even evil. When beliefs previously held as truths are rendered implausible, new beliefs, values, and ways of living may be required. What's worse, philosophers admonish each other to remain unsuited until such time as a defensible new answer is revealed or constructed. Sometimes philosophical writing is even strictly critical in that it does not even attempt to provide an alternative after tearing down a cultural or conceptual citadel. The reader of philosophy must be prepared for the possibility of this experience. While reading philosophy can help one clarify one's values and even make oneself conscious for the first time of the fact that there are good reasons for believing what one believes, it can also generate unremediated doubt that is difficult to live with. Now, the point is, if you read all the sentences, you must look for a sentence where you can see that there is a cut at one's core belief. That means core belief is something that must have been discussed in the earlier sentence. When you read the first sentence, the sentence says the experience of reading philosophy is disquieting. When reading philosophy, the values, so the beliefs and the values come here. That means I know that my sentence can be somewhere at the start, because the belief in one's values or the belief in one's core value, something like this, means we are somewhere around that sentence. The values around which one has heretofore organized one's life may come to look flatly wrong or even evil. Again, the word belief has come. So what we realize here is that when belief, when values, and when belief, that means the zone of the sentence is either one, or you can go and check if it can be two. When beliefs previously held as truths are rendered implausible, new beliefs, values, and ways of living may be required. So the previously held beliefs are rendered implausible. You need to acquire a new belief. This is what the sentence says. What's worse, philosophers admonish each other to remain unsuited until. Now the point is, when you say this philosophical cut, can we say that the cut is happening here, or is the cut happening in this sentence? If the cut happens in this sentence, then the right answer is blank 1, because the author is taking forward the discussion ahead. And if the cut is happening in this sentence, then the right blank is option 2. But one thing is quite sure for us, that the cut is happening either in 1 or in 2, and not after that, because after that the author has gone and discussed something entirely different. That means the place for the right answer is either blank 1 or blank 2. Now let's try to understand that why blank 1 or why not blank 2 or something like this. ठीक है? Let's see. The author says, what's worse? Now, what is the meaning of what's worse? He says, when beliefs held as truths are rendered implausible, new belief may be required. Now, this requirement could be good, could be bad. Right? When you say that previously held truths are rendered implausible, new belief and values may be required. So, this new belief and values which may be required could be both positive and negative. We don't know as yet. That means the negativity or the positivity has not come in this sentence. And then the author says, what's worse? That means this worse is in comparison. See, what happens is this worse means in the earlier sentence there is negative opinion. And this negative opinion is basically this. So, when beliefs previously held as truths are rendered implausible, you need new belief and ways of living. And this cut at your own core belief could be difficult enough. And more than difficult, what worse is that philosophers admonish each other. So now we understand that the author has used the word worse here with respect to the word difficulty. So if I say that CAT paper can be difficult for many people, and what's worse, that if you have worked hard, even then it may not be easy. So when I say what's worse, that means something bad has come in the earlier sentence. So when you say what's worse, that means something bad has come in the earlier sentence. But in this sentence, there is nothing bad. It simply says that your previously held belief are implausible. You might need new one. What is so bad about it? It could be good. But the bad thing comes later when the author says that this philosophical cut at one's core belief and way of life is difficult enough. So it is difficult enough, and what is worse, that philosophers admonish each other. So to complement this worse, you need to have this difficulty. Why? Because in the preceding sentence before this blank 2, there is nothing negative. So if there is no negative, then this worse word is not justified. The presence of this sentence in blank 2 justifies the word worse, and the word difficult enough is complemented, and the philosophical cut is indeed happening in this sentence because the previously held beliefs are implausible. You need to replace them with new one, and that is definitely a cut, and that is going to be difficult. And what's worse, philosophers admonish each other, and therefore blank 2 is the right answer. So you have to be careful. Don't mark option B because option B is for option 3. Blank 2 is the right answer, therefore the D is the right place. This is not a very easy question because you need to be very careful. Between 1 and 2, it could go either ways. The right answer is blank 2 and option D is the right answer. A tough question, I would say.